Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd, I'm proud of it, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today, so we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of the sorcery trading card game, Sorcery Contested Realm. First of all, unfortunately, apparently, the Arcane Conclave has been cancelled. That's what I hear, that's what I see on the Discords. I don't really know what exactly happened, but I tried to get some info from the organizers, and they told me that there simply have not been enough signups. It's a shame. It looked like an ambitious project. It looked like there were really cool prizes, cool stuff from Mattias Frisk, I assume, I guess. That's what I've seen. And it's always a shame if there's a gathering of TCG players that can't go through. I understand the choice. I'm not gonna diss anybody because it didn't work out. It is what it is. Sometimes you have to make tough choices, but it's not that easy organizing these big tournaments because not only do you have to have the organizational part right, but also the people need to show up because there are a lot of costs involved. And I think canceling last minute like this is very difficult for people that would have come from far away and already planned their travel. But I haven't heard who exactly is affected or how many people exactly are affected. So I'm not sure. It's all a bit um, quiet around this, and the people apparently have received a mail. But that happens as well. Sometimes things don't go through. Again, not dissing anyone. I know the organizers put a lot of energy and time and their own money into this, trying to make this work. I've been to one of those smaller tournaments they organize, played a couple of rounds, had fun. The location was okay, and the people were nice. So that's all I can say about it. And for the rest, we'll see what happens to the other two tournaments, because I think there's a second one planned at the same location in Leiden in the Netherlands, and one at CardCon in Utrecht. That's pretty much around the corner here, a big card convention, trading card game convention, which I think happens for the second time this year already. I think it happened last year as well. So I'm definitely going to check that one out and see if there is a tournament there. And if not, then yeah, I wish them all the best for their next endeavors. I personally will be at Sorcery Fest next, and I've been last year. I made a post-event video for Sorcery Fest, and I made a lot of content from there. Was lucky enough to meet with artists like Mattias Frisk and do the reveal of one of his paintings for Sorcery. Same for Jeff Mangus, a guy that I definitely adore and consider almost a friend. I know he knows a lot of people, but I had some good times with Jeff and some good talks with Jeff, and I was able to reveal the torch painting with him as well, together with Richard, one of the organizers of Sorcery Fest. I was able to do an interview with Michal Negipol there. Always awesome to talk to the sorcery artists, and always cool to get some more info about what's going on with the artwork. That's gonna be 3 to 5 July, I guess. So right before my summer holiday with the family, and yeah, it's a 2-hour drive from here to the north of the Netherlands. So I will definitely be there one, maybe even 2 days. I hope I'm invited again, but Ron and Richard are lovely people and very, very nice people. And yeah, I think that for me will be the next big event. And it's a grand contest, so that's pretty awesome. I yeah, am always happy that Eskenresk is early in the year, but organizing your own tournament shows how difficult it is, and I know how difficult the organizational part is, like I said before. But on the other hand, that of course didn't give us the opportunity to be a grand contest, which I think would have been possible even. I know they don't give this to everybody, but I think Ask and Resk has proven itself 3 times already with great amount of players, a lot of players from all over Europe, and truly being a European sorcery event people enjoy. And we were able, together with the extended nerd family and myself, we were able to organize well. Again, not as a side dish towards the Arcane Conclave. It's difficult to organize this kind of stuff. But that, of course, didn't give us the chance to be a grand contest. Maybe next year. You never know. I think it would be cool to lift Eskenresk to that level. And if not, then we just keep it as a friendly gathering and stick to what we know. And I think it will be awesome as well. But SorceryFest is one. So that's pretty cool. And that's definitely something people look forward to. So I'm personally also looking forward to join SorceryFest. What else is going on in the world of sorcery? For me personally, I honestly have a look here and there. I think everything is carried by the tournament scene now again after the Gothic release more or less has calmed down. There are still some videos I want to do of Eskenresk with the finals and gameplay, so like the matches. I have the idea of talking with the people that actually played, at least one of the two people that played in the matches, and talking about those matches. And those people are currently checking if they have the time to record something. But for the rest, I think sorcery lives off feedback from these events and other events that are coming up and the organized play scene, simply because there is not a lot much more to say and to tell. They don't tease a new set, obviously. Gothic just has been out yet. They don't talk to artists that often anymore. Something I try to do personally because I really enjoy it. I mailed a couple of them, haven't heard back. It's always better, like the interview with Aronia Art, Rafaela. It's always better if you meet them in person. In the end, I think everybody tries to keep the spirit and the game alive. A lot of people comparing sorcery to other stuff, like for example, look at sorcery and look what the Cyberpunk TCG on Kickstarter is not. I have an opinion about this. I'm not pushing Cyberpunk, no worries, especially not in a sorcery video. But it's a simple fact that sorcery was a Kickstarter as well, and sorcery seems a bit like a cult recently. We can't say things that we do not agree with 100% anymore somehow, and I think sorcery is one of the greatest games out there. It definitely has the best artwork in the business, and the gameplay is very much fun and very thematic, but there's a lot of stuff that's not perfect about sorcery, and that's okay as well. Doesn't mean I'm gonna quit the game, doesn't mean I don't love the game, but it also doesn't mean that Cyberpunk is worse than sorcery because it has an IP. So you never know, and it might not live beyond the first set. Sorcery has proven itself for a couple of years now, which is very special, because I think all TCGs, except a handful of TCGs, more or less fail after a couple of years. But we also had very successful IP TCGs, just naming Pokemon on top of my head, naming Yu-Gi-Oh on top of my head, as well as obviously One Piece, and several others. Gundam, I think, is not doing too badly. So obviously they're not that big as the Cyberpunk TCG is, but I have been working in the video game industry for more than 20 years, and I think for more than 25 years now. Shit, I'm getting old. And it's very simple. If you sell millions and millions of games, there is a fan base, and that fan base wants everything about that IP, even if they are not diehard TCG players. That doesn't mean it's only scalpers. Of course, there will be a lot of scalpers, but okay. Sorcery. So sorcery is living a little bit within the hype of other stuff that's going on because people compare it to that other stuff that's going on. Sorcery is living off the tournament scene. Sorcery is living off a couple of people opening boxes still and just talking about the market, talking about the organized play structure that just has been revealed. We all are looking forward to the Avatar of the Realm tournament. Obviously, I would love to go there and see most of you, all of you, all the sorcery fans out there that have been on my channel for years now, and would be awesome to join that celebration, to be invited maybe. And for the rest, it's a bit quiet, and we experienced that before as well. Very simple. Without continuous releases, it's difficult to keep feeding info, keep feeding hype to the people, and it's not necessary. That's a good thing about sorcery. It's a smaller group, but it's a very dedicated group. Like I said, a little bit like a cult, and I don't mean that in a negative way. People love sorcery, and the sorcery community is awesome. But you know what I mean. It's very dedicated, sorcery minded, and that group is diehard. And that's the core you need to build a successful TCG. So those people are actually responsible for the success of sorcery, in my opinion. If you have people like that, then the critical mass is what we called it when we started to build TCGs back in the day, when stuff like the Versus system and Magic the Gathering sets and tournaments and even Duel Masters, a lot of games that are not around anymore, but Pokemon as well, Yu-Gi-Oh! We called it a critical mass. If we had like a few players, 4 to 8 players at a certain location, we nurtured that critical mass there, and it grew. It is a fact, and I think and believe this is still the case today. And sorcery has those groups of people in certain areas that nurture the game, that are responsible for drawing people in, and that are responsible for the success of the game. So I personally would love to see a little bit more. I try myself to be able to make some content. I see other channels like slowing down their content as well, and that's okay. Again, you only can talk about what you can talk about, and at a certain point you don't want to repeat yourself, right? But you only have so many angles, and unless they announce, and personally what I would like to see is different stuff than organized play, because we always say like, hey, this is the game that is built on people that love it and collect it. I think sorcery now at the moment is built more on players, not collectors. And that is one of the things that's, for me personally, not so great, because I'm a collector as well as a kitchen table player, but I love organizing Ask and Rask, and I love seeing all of you there, but for me it's more about the gathering, and I love sitting down and having a match with whoever comes up and says, Jürgen, do you want to play a match? Of course I do, because the game is fun. But on the other hand, for me it's more about everything that goes with it than the hard and competitive tournament scene, which sorcery obviously is very focused on, because that's the only thing they can be focused on after the Gothic release, and before maybe another themed set will be announced, like the Dragon Lord set, or another general set will be announced. We speculated about what set could be next. I will link to that video at the end of this video. Curious what you think about that, but I think I like my speculation about it. So it's gonna be a dry couple of months, and it's gonna be difficult to find things to talk about concerning sorcery for the next few months until SorceryFest, and then I have a lot of content again. I still have some content from Ask and Rask. I still need to do the recap video. I released a lot of stuff like the interviews, the shorts, the impressions. The look at the artist proof I got from Aronia Art. I might have another one here. So we're gonna have a look at that one as well. I'm a bit fascinated by Rafaela's art since I met her, because she's not only super nice and super friendly and super kind, but also super talented. And I love it if I have a personal connection with somebody, and I love to support that person then, especially when it comes to the artists from Sorcery. So it's going to be a bit of a wait and a bit of a search for content until SorceryFest, but I'm sure I'll find enough. I hope I can talk to my friends from Cardboard Guide again, how they are perceiving this, which will be probably an interesting video. I saw they just made a video with, or it's about to hit, with Josh from Lord of Itza, talking about the tournament scene, the organized play scene. I don't know if the video is live yet. I haven't seen it, so it might be live, it might not be live. But I'm definitely gonna check that one out. So these two always are interesting. The yeah, there are a couple of sorcery channels that are taking off, which is good. I like to see that. That's nice. Alright, folks. Let me know in the comments what you would like to hear about at the moment. Would you like to hear about the next set? Would you like to hear about a small Dragonlord-like themed set? Would you like to hear more about the tournament scene, the organized play? Would you just like to see box openings? Because you're still not done with Gothic and we're still gonna collect it. Are you buying a lot of sorcery at the moment, or are you fine with what you have? Logical that things calm down. That's not bad. With the one release a year, it's just normal. But I'm curious what you think. Let me know in the comments. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. Thanks a lot for listening, as always. And thanks a lot to my Patreons. They are really keeping this channel afloat, and I honestly appreciate their support. Without them, I couldn't say whatever the fuck I want to say here. So, thanks for that. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. I talk to you next time. Bye bye.